Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Meals with Emile. Today I have my esteemed friend and guest, Brooks Rhinesmith.
Yep, that's it.
That's
Hello, hello.
well said. Brooks is a man from the state of Georgia. I didn't know that until this weekend, actually, when we hung out.
I'm actually from Kansas, Emile.
He's from Kansas. That's crazy.
Could have let you go on with that for a while.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
His dad's a fantastic cook, as he's let me know. He said his dad's like pizza. And today we're going to make Detroit-style pizza. A little more information about Brooks. So before we get into that, Brooks is an esteemed outdoorsman. He has traveled various regions of the country. He likes to surf at the local gutter in Boise known as the Wave. And he's extremely talented and gifted artistically. He makes custom rugs. We'll put a couple photos of those up for you guys if you're interested in purchasing them. His phone number is 208. I'm just kidding. I don't know his phone number. We'll put that information out for you in the comments down below. But Brooks, what are we making today? What's going on, man?
Well, what we're gonna make is a Detroit-style pizza.
Of course.
Like you mentioned, my dad is a pretty decent cook. If you had his wings, you would definitely know that's the one right there.
Really?
But another thing that we made a lot growing up was pizza. Made a lot of different kinds.
Really?
Regular, kind of like thin crust, deep dish, Detroit style. And since you or I have not made Detroit style, I figured let's try and tackle it today.
I love it. Yeah, we've both neither. Neither of us have made Detroit style pizza. This is going to be quite the experiment. Let's do a quick run through of the ingredients, maybe things that the viewers would need if they want to recreate this at home. I'll kick us off. Tomato sauce is going to be essential for this. All right, we've got some petite diced tomatoes. We're going to throw these mofos in the pan, get them hot, get them ready for the 3 stripes of sauce. Brooks, if you want to grab the next ingredient, please be my guest.
I'm going to go with the easy one, pepperoni. Classic topping. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do them up. Probably just throw them on top.
Indeed.
Yeah. No pre-bake?
No, I don't think we're going to need to do that.
All right.
It's going to be crispy.
Pepperonis.
Next, we've got just some of the most wonderful low moisture mozzarella. It's important to note you need the low moisture when you're making pizza. The reason is if you don't, it's going to lead to a wet pizza. What result? One other note is that when you get the shredded stuff, there's a little light coating of starch on it. Just keep that in mind. If you get the non-shredded and shred it yourself, it won't be the starch. Doesn't make a huge difference, but some people, personal preference.
Next, we got a bunch of seasonings. I don't know which one's which, but I'm just going to point over here and name them.
Yes.
Got Italian seasoning. I think we got some salt, some red pepper flakes. Actually, what is this one?
Garlic and parsley.
Garlic and parsley.
For the crust.
Of course, for the crust.
And finally, there might actually be one extra ingredient we're going to throw in here. We got the garlic. We're going to mince this up. We're going to throw it in with the sauce. Everyone likes a nice garlicky sauce. No debate there.
No,
I don't think.
Super easy.
There might be some tomato paste also thrown in there, just to give it a little bit more of that acidic, tomatoey flavor. And finally, the last, but not the least ingredient that I've kept off screen, it's still proofing, is the dough.
Yes.
The dough, for those of you who are curious, with Detroit-style pizza, is a little on the wetter side. So what we did is we made the dough in a food processor, got it nice and moist and wet and stretchy and gooey. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it in this pan and bake the pizza in the pan. Wonderful, I know. Okay, well, Brooks, I think we should begin.
All right, yeah.
Now, I've just got this first little task I've got for you, actually. I need you to cut up and mince. Not cut. I need you to harvest 4 cloves of this. We're going to use this mincer, this ricer, to get it into like the minced format. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind taking care of that, I would really appreciate it, man.
Totally.
And while you're doing that, let's actually start this off. You said you're from Kansas, is that right?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in Kansas?
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
How long did you live there?
Let's see. I was born there in 1995.
95, okay.
And then I graduated high school in 2013.
Okay.
So 18 years, and then I did go to school at the University of Kansas in Lawrence.
Okay.
It's another 4 years, so like 20, 21, 22 years of my life.
Okay.
I spent in Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what brings you out to Boise? Where'd you
It's
get that sense to move up, pick up your whole life? You know what I mean?
there was a guy that I knew before I moved here.
Okay.
The guy who owns the surf shop next to the River Wave.
Okay.
I knew him, and we're sort of related. It's a weird story.
Really? Related?
Yeah.
Mother's or father's side, may I ask?
Father's side.
Okay. Curious.
And
noted.
Yeah, it's like 5 generations back. So we're like, yeah, 5th cousins randomly.
Some history, dude.
Yeah.
Shit.
So I knew him. I was going to school at the University of Kansas at the time, like I said, and was going to design school.
Design school?
Yes.
Why'd you get into design school?
I mean, I was always like, kind of like I liked art. Art and math was kind of my shtick.
Okay.
So growing up, and when I decided to go to college, I thought like architecture might be the route.
Okay.
But that was like a little too much for me. Like, I feel like end result, kind of just sitting at a computer, being like a CAD bitch, was not
that
like
sounds
really what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I switched up majors and went for product design.
Okay.
Kind of just more broad spectrum. You could do like furniture, packaging design, product design, user interface and stuff like that.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah. So I went to school for that. Definitely liked making stuff with my hands. Did the furniture and design and fabrication was kind of what I really enjoyed. So Victor owning the surf shop obviously makes a lot of stuff for himself, you know.
Sure.
Surfboards.
Sure, of
He's
course.
also built the Yard Arm, if you're a Boise local.
It's a bar.
Yep, local bar. Yeah, so I came out here with no idea what to expect from Idaho. I thought it was going to be a lot like Seattle or like Portland, in my opinion.
Fair.
From what I
had you visited Idaho previously to moving here?
Wow.
Okay.
Not even anywhere in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
Actually, like Wyoming might have been the farthest.
A true Kansas boy, right there.
Yeah, I mean,
true Kansas man.
I've been around, but I was fortunate enough to like go a lot of places growing up.
Okay.
So, that was cool, but yeah, it was really nice. I don't even know. No, it wasn't really nice growing up in Kansas.
You didn't like Kansas? Kansas sucked?
Kansas sucked.
Why'd Kansas suck?
Dude, it's humid. It's fucking flat. There's nothing to do.
There's not a lot to do in Kansas.
There's nothing to do. I mean, and if you like sports, great place to be. So I grew up playing sports. Both me and my brother played a whole bunch of them.
What sports did you play?
I played baseball, hockey, big into hockey. I played goalie for like 10, 11 years.
Okay, that's a while.
A little bit of soccer, a little bit of lacrosse.
Okay.
But mostly lacrosse or hockey and baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still play those sports, or are those pretty off the beaten path for you now?
I need to get back into hockey. I want to go play.
Really?
Like some men's league. I got a couple of friends here that play, but
okay.
Just I really need a chest protector. So if anybody's got a chest protector,
a spare chest protector,
let me use. Let me know, because I would enjoy that.
Holy squirt! Oh my god, dude! Jeez,
dude.
All over me, dude.
Keep the white shirts clean, buddy.
Oh my god, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I made a mistake.
We both made a
horrible mistake when we were working with tomato products.
Yeah,
but you live and you learn, and sometimes you just live.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of down for just the living part right now. As much as I really like this Fuego Cherve shirt that I got from my dad, and I didn't get. He was gonna donate it. I acquired it. Okay.
Hand me down shirts.
Oh my god, I forgot. Enjoy your beer.
PBR, classic.
Cheers. Welcome to the show. Water.
Thank you.
Sober October. I'm not going to elaborate on that. Okay. So, no, I don't have a drinking problem. Okay. All right. So you like designing stuff. Where did that kind of passion come from to design things?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I do probably know.
Uh-huh.
My parents, like, they're both engineers.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's sick.
Um, yeah, aerospace engineers. They're both
Oh, holy
dorks.
shit, they're super smart.
Yeah, they both worked at NASA.
Was there ever like
So
communication issues between you guys because they were so like nerdy, or was it pretty?
no,
You picked up on the nerd
they're
speak.
not like
They're not that kind of nerd.
they're not like the weird nerds. They're the party nerds.
Oh, okay, I'm down for
Yeah,
that. That's sick.
yeah. So for sure, they were fine with all that stuff. But they both worked at NASA in Florida, and they moved to Kansas right before they had me.
Did they retire or something like that? What'd they do? How'd that
No,
work?
it was just NASA in the early '90s, and I think it was not like a booming, like,
It wasn't a great job, maybe.
yeah. I mean,
That's so
I don't
curious.
think like NASA was getting a lot of funding and stuff in the
It
early
was pretty
90s.
boring in the early '90s, I think.
Yeah. So my dad got a job at Cessna, which is
Oh, that's sick. A plane manufacturer.
yep,
That's
planes,
totally cool.
Still things that fly.
That's
So
sick.
they moved to Kansas right before they had me, which was super cool, and then decided to never leave, which is fine, I guess.
Suppose it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It wasn't bad. We traveled a lot.
And you've got siblings, yeah?
Yeah, I got one younger brother.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But yeah, so when my parents moved to Kansas, my mom, and she didn't work for a little bit when they first moved there, and then when she got a job, she taught herself CAD and worked at an architecture firm.
As one does.
Yeah, I
Very normal stuff, right?
don't know
there.
why that she did that, but that was what she did, and it was awesome. So I think
It's pretty sick.
just from her friends working at architecture firms and stuff like that, she was all about like interior design and obviously architecture and things like that. So um, that's probably where some of it comes from.
Okay.
My grandpa, like my mom's dad, also is a woodworker.
Okay. Was he also in Kansas?
No, my mom's family was in California up until I was about 5 or 6. And
Okay.
then they moved back to their farm, their family farm in North Dakota.
Whoa.
So
oh my God.
change
That's a huge change, dude.
change
What? I would not live in North Dakota.
Yeah, I visited all times a year.
Savage.
North Dakota might be worse than Kansas.
It's possible,
It
dude.
probably is. More snow, gets colder. Been there when it's like -40 with the wind chill and stuff.
Whoa,
like that.
sick, dude.
Yeah, a lot of
good visits.
Oh yeah,
good visits then.
But it's fun. I mean, it's like a big farm, so you can do whatever you want. It's definitely had fun, but
okay,
it's weird. It's definitely a change of pace.
Okay. You've been on this recent kick, Brooks, of designing and creating rugs. Carpets.
Rugs.
What's the difference in a rug and a carpet for those who are uneducated, such as myself, or ignorant?
Yeah. So a carpet is. I wish I could make something off the top of my head. I don't know. A carpet's probably like what fills a room.
Yeah.
And a rug is like a rug. What we know as rug. You can put it anywhere, move it. That would be probably my guess.
Rugs are just smaller carpets, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rugs are carpets. Carpets
are not rugs.
Maybe. Someone fact check us on that, because
I'd like to know what the size discrepancy is on that. Yeah. We're gonna get a live fact checker in here. Otherwise, we're gonna get flagged by YouTube for false information.
Yeah. Can one of your guys get on that real quick?
Yeah. I'll get
someone
Jamie.
On the crew.
Get on that. Okay. That was a reference to Joe Rogan, in case you weren't aware. Okay, so you have recently been on this kick. How many rugs have you made?
I'm on like 17, 18, and 19 right now. They're getting wrapped
17,
up.
18, 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
what are like some factors to consider when you're making the rug? What are some difficulties associated with it?
I mean, pretty much just the image that people want. It just depends on like how much details in it and how big of a rug they want. If it's bigger, it's obviously easier to do detail, and then the smaller it gets, more things compact. It's harder to get
all the detail
in it, because like the lines that you're laying down are like probably 1/4 inch thick. So like you just have to keep thinking about that when you're changing colors and stuff like that.
Okay, very curious. What is your favorite rug that you've made?
I made a pair of titties that look real good. It's a popular one.
That
Probably the
sounds,
most liked one I got so far.
I believe that.
But my personal favorite, I don't know. Oh, I got to make one for my the shop that I get tattoos at, Ink Vision. They're local here in Boise. I made it for them to hang at their booth in the tattoo convention a couple months ago.
That's sick.
And so that was just really cool to be able to work with guys that I respect and have like really good artwork.
Very cool.
And it just turned out really well too. So that was fun.
Okay. Now, you've just brought up another interesting point about yourself, and that's actually Brooks's tattoos. Brooks is a tatted man. He's wearing pants, unfortunately, so we're not going to be able to see everything unless he decides to drop them low, which I would not be opposed to, but he's
probably not.
We're both grown men.
Unless we charge.
We can control ourselves most of the time. But Brooks, can you at least tell us about one of your favorite tattoos? And what is it?
Let's see. On my leg, I got a bunch of like kind of traditional and Japanese kind of blended tattoos.
Did a Japanese man do those tattoos?
No, he's a white man, but they. I mean,
did you ask a Japanese person for permission to do that?
I did not.
Do you feel maybe like you culturally appropriated?
Not really. No, not really at all. It is an appreciation.
I'm down.
I did not appropriate.
I agree.
I don't know.
I get upset when people get all mad about it.
I mean, it's just I respect the artwork and like the things that the artwork, the things in the artwork, like the stories behind them are like really cool.
Yeah.
Probably like one of my favorite ones. I'll just one that's visible. It's like Skull and Crossbones, done by Lazy Davis. Check him out. He does a lot of cool stuff. But Skull and Crossbones was kind of a thing for my dad.
Okay.
He was always like, I mean, he always grew up playing sports and stuff like that, but he grew up in the 80s, like BMX bikes, just doing the dumbest shit, you know, hurting himself, skating, like.
That's tight.
They also, my parents like surfed a lot when they were like in
Florida
in the 90s in Florida and California. So
that's sick.
He always had like Skull and Crossbones on his surfboard. Me and my dad made our own skateboards.
Really?
He spray painted his Skull and Crossbones on that. He's
that's
like,
tight.
Just badass shit.
It's a
That's
symbol.
What you do. Yeah.
Does he have like a consistent logo with it? Because I noticed, I look at this, you've got like the bone coming out of the eye a little bit.
Yeah.
And like the back of the head. Maybe that's like.
No, I mean, like what I like to do with my artists is like I kind of just give them the idea. I mean, I pick an artist and I go through their work and I make sure I like their work.
Yeah.
And so like, and I'm an artist too. So like I get the whole, like when people are like, no, like move this a little bit like that shit gotta drive them insane. It's like, you pick them for a reason, trust what they're going to do. And like, he showed me that and I was like, you know, that's maybe not how exactly I would have done it, but it also looks sick.
That's how he did it.
And I asked him to do it. So that's, he gave me what I asked for, I guess.
Okay. Have you ever done that and then gotten a result that you were like, ruh-roh?
No, not really. I mean, especially on like the ones on my leg, I've really given like a very minimal amount of direction. Really just kind of like one figure, and then like we'll sit there together and kind of like flip through. We have a lot of books in there, like with traditional art and creatures and all that stuff, so they can kind of reference historically and stuff like that. So whether I sit through there with him or he does it on his own, I trust him to do his thing, and I'll be like, it looks sick. So,
I trust. I love it. I love it. Okay, very
trust your artist.
Trust artists. I'm down for that.
And if you're gonna ask him to do a tattoo for you, might as well trust him.
I agree. Okay, what's your opinion of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Just kidding.
I'll be straight up. I don't know shit about shit, so I'm gonna keep my mouth quiet on that.
Okay, well, it's a good thing the Israeli agent in this room.
I see, it was a test.
Yeah, it was definitely a test for sure. No, that's a horrible conflict. But moving on.
Got quite a bit of oil in here,
dude. Yeah, I don't know if there's a right amount. You think it's too much?
No, I just thought you might know like a secret trick.
You know, the secret trick here that I'm trying to get into is making sure that when I'm ready to eat the pizza, that it'll slide out of here.
Right.
It's nonstick. It's like, I acknowledge that. But this is going to help. A key note about the Detroit style pizza is that it's baked in a pan and not just on the stone or on a steel. And
the cheese to fall on the edge and get all crispy.
You need to do that. So this is going to help a lot with that. This oil is just ensuring that we're not going to get anything too sticky, if you will. One other note here is that one time when I did this before, I made focaccia bread, and the oil like polymerized and turned into a really hard surface. So we're about to find out if that'll happen again when we do this. Brooks, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab the dough. It's been rising now for just over 55 minutes. But I'm going to leave you with a question to answer for the camera.
All right.
When do you think, I'm going to ask you a question first.
Okay.
Who is your favorite artist?
Like musical, what?
Okay. That's
those artists.
I love that answer. And the reason I love that answer is because when someone asks someone these days, in my opinion, you ask someone, who's your favorite artist? Everyone goes music instantly. Drake, Kanye, Kendrick.
Yes.
Kesha. Maybe. That's a rough one. But, just kidding. I love you, Kesha. But you've answered it now. I want you, if you agree, do you agree when people, you ask them, you're like, who's your favorite artist? They're going to go to music instantly, or is that not your impression of it generally?
I would say like 8 out of 10 people you ask, they'll probably immediately go to like music.
Okay. My question while I'm leaving is, why do you think that is? When do you think in society it went from being who's your favorite artist as like a painter or with a true like medium that's physical to music?
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to give you the exact date, but I would say it's probably just more recently due to the widespread availability of music. Like, even with SoundCloud and everything, you just have access to so much more music. And like, realistically, that's probably the most artists that people interact with on a more consistent basis. Like, most people probably don't know who their favorite like painter or any other type of medium artist type is. So yeah, probably just I would say like the 90s maybe.
The 90s is when that happened.
That's like a time frame I'll generalize it as.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah, MTV, just music becomes way more widespread.
I'd say MTV was probably a huge factor in that.
Yeah.
When you think about just like popularizing music at such a wide level.
Oh, thanks for getting that. What he's doing with this dough. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't hide it from the
people. I'm sorry, you guys. So what we're doing is we just pulled out the dough. This is a couple cups of just flour mixed in with some yeast. And then we're just spreading it out. Again, similar to focaccia style. This dough has a lot of gluten in it. I use bread flour. So that means you really got to spread it out. It has this natural tendency to spring back in. So you want to just let it stretch. You can see inside we've got a lot of nice bubbles. We're getting a little pane-like. You can see through it slightly. We're stretching. Get that side stretch too. Do not forget about the side stretch.
Always both directions.
Absolutely. It's easy to be ignorant when you're making this shit. I'll tell you what. But here we go.
See it all the time.
See it. It's common in our office. We see it daily. We see it daily, man. Okay. So we're getting this stretched out. We're getting it into the corners. And Brooks, this is where I'm about to honor you with the topping process. I trust you so much with that, dude.
No.
What?
It looks...
You sound insecure about your topping knowledge.
I'm not. I really am not. My dad makes the food. I eat the food, but...
Well, today we're turning a new leaf. We're turning a new stone, Brooks.
I hope I do him proud.
You're like above the age of 25. I'm trusting you to do this.
Really? Yeah.
Like a month.
Let's do this.
Okay. All right. I know first step though is adding cheese.
Okay.
Second step is then adding the pep. Let me get this shit in the corner. This is one of like the beauties of working with Chicago style pizza. Sorry, Detroit, is that it's a very unique dough. So it's hard to work with, almost harder than regular dough. because you have a set canvas that you need to get it into. Okay. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We're feeling good. Frick.
That looks good.
Yeah, we're about to be delicious. Okay.
All right.
Other note is that sauce goes on last with the Detroit style pizza. It's always cheese, then peps, then sauce. And there's 3 stripes of it. We'll explain that later as we go on. A little bit about the origin of Detroit style pizza, though, is that it came from some metal workers in the Detroit area when the auto industry was big there, and they had these steel blue trays for their tools and stuff. And this guy decided to bake a pizza in one of them, and thus came in Detroit style pizza. Do you have enough cheese on the edge that it's going to get it crispy? Should we go dedicated cheese in that zone?
I think I left like a ton. I think I left some, and I think maybe at the end we like.
Okay, really I'm down for that. I F with that heavily. Okay, pep allocation, shall we? And while you're applying the peps, let's just take this into the next segue conversation.
Okay.
What's your favorite quality about yourself, Brooks?
Wow, that's a question. All right. Let's see. I think that maybe my favorite quality, physical quality, I have really good balance. I think that's pretty cool.
I frick with that.
So that's pretty fun. I would say another quality about myself that I really like is probably that I'm pretty flexible, like easygoing.
Okay.
Like, yeah, easygoing. Like I don't really care as long as I'm like with people I like. I'm gonna have a good time. Doesn't take much to please me. I can hang out and be in any situation and kind of be comfortable. So there's your answer.
Okay. Beautiful. What's something you've been working on improving with yourself this year?
Well, if you want to get real with it, I got divorced last, but a little over a year ago.
Okay.
So really, like one thing that I kind of figured out about myself was, I was a little selfish. Don't really listen to other people very well. So what I've been trying to like work on is listen to people and, you know, kind of learn how they need to be like acknowledged and treated and yeah.
That's important. Yeah. Do you feel like you've gotten better at it?
For sure.
Nice.
Like doesn't even have to be like romantically.
Yeah. Just be like friends.
Like just through friends. Like I try and be a better listener and like kind of ask like more in-depth questions. I was kind of like a quiet kid growing up and kind of like just sat back and observed.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's surprising. I don't take you for that at all.
Shoot, I was the most shy kid growing up.
So interesting.
Always had to have like other people ask stuff for me, like get stuff for me, and yeah.
Really?
So shy. It was funny.
So how'd you work on that? Because that's a big hurdle to overcome.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, that's really hard, and you know, I don't know, old habits die hard. What like
I mean,
they do?
I still am. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I worked in retail. I worked in the service industry. Like, you just talk to so many people, you get numb to it. It doesn't really matter anymore. So true. It's like through repetition. But I would definitely say like retail or service industry is like a good place to just
very curious
because you're forced to talk to people.
You have to talk to them all the time,
and then you just do it so much you're kind of ready for any situation.
That's awesome, dude.
So that's what worked for me, I guess.
And you feel like it's helped a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's sick,
dude.
Can talk to you. We're having a great conversation right now. So
yeah, totally.
I think it's definitely. I mean, like if you ask like people that I grew up with, they're like, oh, yeah, he was so shy, quiet. But yeah, that's. Oh, dude, we're getting cheese everywhere. Cheese on the
dude, little cheesy explosion.
Yeah, I think we should focus getting the cheese like in the corners.
I'm so down for that little crispy, cheesy corner, dude. Oh, holy yum, yum, yum. Yeah. Quick note, we did 3 stripes of sauce on the top. The reason you do that with Detroit is because, again, it's for the auto industry. It's like the race stripes on a car.
Facts.
Fairly similar-esque. They want to be a little bit different. You know, Detroit's a different spot. Okay, this is looking delicious.
I want to make sure there's crispy edges, and we got barely any cheese
Let's do
left.
a little garlic parsley over the top.
Oh, dude, that's a genius idea. Genius. Should we get rid of the rest of this cheese?
Dude.
Cheese never
Rhetorical questions don't look good on you, Brooks. Come on, please. And then we're going to go light.
I like that.
Light oil on the top just to get a little additional crisp. Okay. We have no idea how long this should cook for.
Oh, wow.
If you want to use your phone as a timer, set it 10 minutes.
All right.
And then I'll exit and check what's up.
All right. Do you have a question for me, or should I?
Yeah. What's your favorite color?
Dance or something?
Oh yeah. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color, I really like a seafoam green.
Seafoam green?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's just like it's a mix between blue and green. It looks nice. It looks bright. It looks fun. I don't know.
How do you incorporate that color into your life?
I don't at all, probably.
Wow, that's really disappointing.
There was one time I saw a bike that was seafoam, like a frame. The frame was seafoam green.
Okay.
Like, sexy bike.
Okay. Didn't get it.
Didn't get it. It was
that's okay.
Expensive.
So as you moved from Boise or from Kansas to Boise, that's a big step to move away from home. You don't know anyone here. Where'd you kind of get the motivation to do that and like the drive to do that? Because that's scary, man.
I mean, I came for a summer first. I did a.
Oh, you did a summer. A study abroad.
Yeah, well, the other one, an internship.
Oh, okay,
so it counted. It counted as school credit, and I mean, it didn't take much motivation to get out of Kansas. Like,
yeah,
I was either going to go home for the summer and like do some stupid job, or come out to Idaho and see what it was all about.
Yeah.
And so I came. I think it was my sophomore summer, and I was like, holy shit, that was way too fun.
Yeah.
Had to come back. So I came back for my junior summer, and then after I graduated, I moved in 2017.
Okay. And did you had friends established by that point who you knew you were going to hang out with, or like?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, so like the first summer, I didn't make too many friends. I met some people, and it was cool. The second summer, I did make a lot of really good friends. They were all the same age as me. Met one through surfing, and they all kind of he had friends who were roommates, and we all became friends. But we all graduated that next summer, and a couple of them moved, so like didn't hang out with those people. Weren't necessarily there when I came back.
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I really, when I moved here after I graduated, that's when I met Gray, one of your other
another recent attendee actually of the Meals to the Meal podcast.
Exactly. I met him. He worked at the Yard Arm, the bar at the surf shop corridor. And one day I went up and talked to him. I was like, yo, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know. And we just hung out, and then I met all his friends. That's why you think I went to high school here and grew up here. Is
yes,
like I know all the cool people, basically.
He does know all the cool people, and they now associate with him. It's not he associates with them. They associate with him. It's very simple.
I guess.
Yeah. People get it confused all the time. They get ass backwards ass. It doesn't make sense until you understand the friend group and the dynamics. So
exactly.
There we are. Okay, so you came here, had a couple internships. What has been a wonderful lesson of life as of recent? Got a great follow-up question after that too. Well, I enjoy these.
Yeah, thank God.
Here you go. Here's a little titty.
Dude, a life lesson that I've learned recently.
Mm-hmm. It can be a lesson you learned recently too. It doesn't have to be a life lesson.
That's a great question. But I don't know if I really have an answer.
I was thinking about that.
Really, like the divorce was like, a lot of self-reflection and like looking in the mirror type stuff.
That's hard.
Well, it was the worst. But
that's hard. What's a good way for people to be accurate themselves when they're trying to reflect? Because I think it's really hard to have like an accurate perception of yourself. And I think we want to give ourselves a lot of grace, which we should do at times. But it's like, at what point are you like, hey, I am like absolutely being deceiving of myself and my shortcomings, and I need to bust out of that?
I mean, for me, like, without getting too into it, we were like, we had problems, and like, like I kind of understood, and then like one day like she's just like, you're like selfish, and like doesn't mean like I'm an asshole, like I don't share stuff and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like selfish as like I don't listen and like stuff like that. So it
Mm.
was really just like something like that, and I was like, I think that kind of lined up with something that like another uh, completely separate person, a guy that I was working for at one point, he was like, you know, if you want to have like a family and kids, like you can't really like stop being a selfish person. And like those two things kind of like clicked at the same time, and I was just like, okay, I kind of like get it now. Like I don't listen very well and stuff like that, and don't communicate very well. So being able to like accept that and kind of like realize that I was at fault a little bit. Yeah. Was how it hit me.
That'd do it.
Yeah.
That'd do it.
Yeah.
What is a challenge in life that you're looking forward to?
I mean, right now I'm like really focused on kind of career, how I want my career to like develop right now. I've worked a ton of jobs. I know that I hate like sitting in an office and like doing that stuff. Like it drives me crazy doing the same thing every day. So just kind of being able to find a balance of a couple of things that I can do well separately, and like give myself like a nice balance of work and life. So I got the rugs. We've plugged the rugs. That's like kind of like a very creative outlet, very hands-on, tactile. I like that a lot. Another goal that I think I'm going to start pursuing is trying to become a physical trainer.
Okay, sick. That's totally cool.
Yeah.
Why is that kind of, how'd that pique your interest?
I mean, I already go to the gym every day, or well, not every day.
It's like ahead of ourselves. Yeah.
I go to the gym a lot. I frequent the gym. And then my roommate Gray. I mean, we're always just kind of like tossing things back and forth. I see a lot of posts on Instagram of like just different workouts, and then like you do them and you're like, oh holy shit, like that I really felt that. That's like cool. I just really like that part of like the gym, kind of just being able to always do something different that is hard to do. And as far as like being a physical trainer, like I've like messed my shoulders up quite a bit.
Oh really?
Surgeries on both of them. Tore my labrums multiple times. Sucks. So
I believe that.
With that, you do a lot of physical therapy.
Okay.
And I've really enjoyed my time with my physical therapist, because it's like a physical trainer. It's like a one-on-one. They know, like they're looking through your chart. They know what's wrong. They know how you injured it, like where it's kind of weak and stuff like that. So, and they really work with you, make sure you're doing the form right, just trying to get you back to being normal.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool connection to have with somebody.
Totally.
And then I see a lot of people at the gym, and I'm like, why are you doing it like that? Or, you know, you see people doing stuff and you're like, that's not exactly how that works, or your form like looks really bad. I don't know. It just feels like it's a cool place to kind of work with people, also be physically fit.
Totally.
Spread some knowledge.
Totally.
Get knowledge.
Totally. What has been the scariest form you've ever seen at the gym? And then did you intervene and tell that person like,
never
hey,
have I ever, no. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not age shaming, but it is typically like the older people at the gym. I feel like they should have to take a class. It's like everywhere you go, and in gyms all across the states, just like they lifting like they think they're still young and should like used to lift, and they're like going way too heavy, and then they're just like all over the place. I don't know. It's just like, I think the curls is the one that kind of gets me. Like
curls is
like
wild, dude.
They like throwing their whole body into it. And it's like, you're not doing anything, and then they're just like, I see a lot of whack stuff. I'm
that
just
is
like,
scary when people are doing that.
I'm just like, please, like you're not doing, and that's like really what it is for me. Like we can take care of our bodies like so much better than we do, and like longevity of your body is like attainable.
Should probably be a one of the higher priorities in your life as well. Yeah,
we all neglect it way more than we should. And so
there's one thing that's probably not going to change about you. It's that you are probably going to be in the same body for most of your life.
Yeah, and it's only getting older and tighter and weaker. So definitely got to stay on top of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. What do you think is a... Mm, mm.
Do you want me to ask you a
You
question?
can go for it, dude.
All right. What's your goal for meals with meal?
It's a great question. The goal right now is there's a couple phases.
Yeah.
The first phase.
We're 15 seconds away from that 10 minutes.
Okay.
We go.
Do you want to go check on it? I trust your eyes on it.
I don't know.
You might need to point the camera at it or turn the light onto it to see how crispy it's getting. The goal with the Meals with a Meal is very simple. Right now, I'm working a full-time job, and I enjoy it thoroughly. But Meals with a Meal is something that I plan on doing for probably majority of my life. And the reason I like doing it is because I think hearing people's stories is really cool. And the thought process, too, is that over time, I will develop this content, get it to look a lot better, have a much better format and more kind of like thought out. And then maybe at some point it could become a full-time thing. Maybe it gets picked up by the Food Network. I'm not entirely sure. I like the idea of like being my own boss and just talking to really interesting people, hearing about their stories, trying to share wisdom. I think it's part of like what we're called to do as like Christians and just like as people in general too. And I absolutely love cooking too. So it's just a little, I don't know, nail on the head. Brooks, how are we looking?
I think we're good.
Really? You think it's cooked?
I mean, it's hard to know without cutting into it, but the top looks prime pizza looking.
That looks so good.
Look at that Zaza.
Dude, did you turn off the oven?
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
I'm not a rookie.
So let's see. Let's put it on here real quick. Let's let that cool for a second.
For sure.
And now we're just going to do a quick investigation with the knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious.
No connection on the edge. Good start. That tooth.
Looks crispy too. Like, I think we've...
No, bottom's okay. We can put it back in though, I think too.
Yeah, should we go pause it?
Go put it back in just for right now.
Okay.
What we could do is we could take it out of there and just put it in without the pan. And the reason we might want to do that is because the stone's still hot and it could cook the bottom pretty well. Do we want to try that? That's like a lot of work.
I'm scared to pop it out of the pan. I'm not gonna lie.
Why is that?
Because it's like the whole thing, and it's kind of, maybe it's not scary. I don't know.
Let me go grab my pizza peel. Up. I'll be right back.
Pizza peel?
I'll be right back. In there? You can leave that in there. I'll bring it out.
All right.
We'll do it.
Wow. So I don't know what Emile was saying, but I wasn't listening very hard.
It's all right.
But I think he was doing a great job. I can't wait to see where Meals with Emile goes.
I'm excited to see in 5 years if there's more than 31 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I would also be surprised if
you got it.
In 5 years. I think it's pretty reasonable. I think it's also cool because it's like, it's something my kids can watch when they get older and be like, look, this is like what my dad did. Like, it's cool. It's like permanently having something be like stuck in time. Holy shit. You want to take that off me?
There you go.
Thanks, Dad.
There you go.
Look at that mofo, dude. That looks good.
I don't actually.
Does it look good on the one? That's pretty good, dude. Do we like?
I think we might.
We might be okay.
Yeah, it's browning up pretty
Think sufficient brownage?
Yeah, maybe I should have just left it.
I think so. Yeah. That bottom, honestly, dude, I mean, give that a feel. It's kind of firm.
Yeah, it is.
I think we call good.
All right.
All right.
Here we are. We're cooking za.
Okay. Za has been cooked. She is looking delicious. Might I just say that as well?
That's what you want. That crispy cheese edge.
Yeah. So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great point, Brooks. So what we did is we got this crispy edge with that cheese. See, it's browned nicely, and that's going to be fantastic. Let's give this a cut in. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to go.
Yeah, you got to go one down the middle.
One down the middle.
Two.
Two on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Ooh.
Okay, I like that.
Emile also made me pizza on Monday, was that Monday?
That's freaking good.
It was fucking amazing.
That was a lit.
So
such a good night.
Was
that Monday already?
No,
it wasn't Monday.
Sunday.
Sunday? I think Sunday's right.
Yeah, it was.
My memory's bad. My memory's bad.
Cowboys got worked. It was Sunday.
Cowboys. Let me grab a plate for us. We're not messy, but that is looking pretty delectable.
Always hit your chili pepper plate.
Please do it.
Always. You good with them? I can toss them on the whole thing?
Yeah, do it.
Whoa.
Let's see. Here are some plates.
The lid's a little janky. You can never go too heavy with the red pepper flakes. They're so good.
Oh, they are so good.
Dude, they're stuck in there.
Brooks and I, the last time we hung out, it wasn't the last time we hung out, but one of the times recently when we hung out was after we filmed Gray's episode. We went, it was National Hamburger Day.
Yes.
So we went to McDonald's and Wendy's, which screw Wendy's. You guys
Wendy's
stink.
Was a flop.
You guys
Wendy's
blow.
Was a flop.
Customer service was horrible. There's a lady sitting behind the counter, made eye contact with me.
There was no customer service.
There was no customer service. You're right. It
wasn't bad.
There was a lady.
Non-existent.
I was standing in the establishment at the cash register. This lady was 3 feet away at the grill on her phone looking at TikToks. And no one told me, like, hey, you have to order online. There's none of that. It was just no acknowledgement of existence. Pretty lit. McDonald's was great, though. They were fast. They were effective. I got a McFlurry with it, and it was delicious.
They were prepared.
They were prepared for the storm. Do you think it's cool enough? It seems a little risky, but the biscuit might be worth it.
See the steam coming off. I mean,
let's get that.
Pizza's what you burn the roof of your mouth with, so.
Okay. We were worried about sufficient undercarriage crust.
Okay. Oh, that one's yours.
That's yours. No, that's yours.
No,
dude.
that one's yours. No, you touched that one. That one's yours.
Fine.
I don't want you to touch my slices.
Okay. And what we're going to see here is that when we look in, let me come up to the camera.
It's nice and thick.
Where it's thick is the first note. The second note is you're going to see these nice air pockets right here.
Yes.
Those have come up nicely over time.
No, that's
what you're looking for. That is what you're looking for.
No.
Sit.
It's quite hot.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Dude.
Okay.
I like that sauce.
That's nice. That sauce is good. A good amount of heat to it, too. Kind of like that. Hot indeed. Okay.
Dude.
Ooh, little gassiness on me. Excuse me. I had beans earlier today.
Let's say from the front or from the back?
Okay. When you have a bite of the crust, the cheese that has like burnt on there is absolutely wonderful.
That cheese crust is the best part.
That cheese crust is so good. Woo. It's hot as frick. I will also be very clear about that. Yeah, it's toasty.
That's money.
That's pretty good though.
I think if we had left it in there for like another minute, like maybe a minute and 30 seconds, because like the middle part's a little doughy.
I agree.
Tiny bit.
Okay, there's gonna be a redemption.
The crust is really good though.
The crust, the edge is delicious.
The edge is really good.
Got a nice rise out of it.
The air pockets, money.
Air pockets are nice. Nice chewiness.
Dude.
Okay, bro.
That's a win.
As we're eating this, what are maybe some memories that come back of pizza? Maybe making it with your parents or something like that. What's a distinct memory that comes back?
Dude. I don't know if there is a distinct memory. It's just like, I mean, like, maybe a distinct memory would be like the physical pizza stone that like we grew up with. I can see that, but
really,
like, that's just like a consistent thing. I mean, probably, I'd say at least twice a month we're eating pizza in the Rhinesmith household. Dad's cooking them up. You know, progressively had to add more pizzas as we grew up.
Yeah,
2 growing boys, never stopped.
It's a lot of pizza, dude.
So, yeah, and then I will say my dad's Chicago style, the deep dish.
Oh, really?
That's like
money.
I've
never had Chicago.
I mean, it's kind of like this, nice and thick, a lot of sauce, a lot of cheese.
A lot of sauce.
But it's so good.
Really?
I love it.
Well, we know what Brooks's next episode with me is going to be cooking, and that is Chicago-style pizza. But I think the Detroit was a nice introduction.
Yeah.
This is.
I feel like it might be a little bit easier. You killed it on the dough.
Oh.
Which is like the scariest part, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's like the dough is science.
It is the critical part of the pizza.
Like I'm like you just like, oh, I'm just gonna whip up the dough. That's impressed me.
Okay, man. Ah, dough, not too thick. I just gotta figure out how you make it.
What was that?
Exactly. So when you guys want to make dough at home, you get out the food processor, put 2 cups of flour in it, you add some salt to it, you turn it on, you get some water in a Pyrex container, put some yeast in it, put a little sugar in with that, mix it up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slowly add the water to the dough. It doesn't matter how much water you add, because you add it slowly over time. You add maybe 1/4 cup, maybe less than that. And then over time, the dough will start to like bring it all in. Then, once it's fully wetified, you're going to let it, what the hell is that term?
Mix? I don't know.
No, hydrate. The dough needs to hydrate.
Oh.
Once that happens, it means like it's fully absorbed the water. It'll get extra stretchy. That's how you get all these big air pockets and cavities. Then you can add a little more water. This is a wet dough, so it's pretty sticky, but it's not too bad. I'll make a tutorial for you soon. Simple dough recipe.
You should actually.
I'm down. I'll do it with you. Conjunction episode.
I'd be way down. I like to cook. I like to learn things. I like to become a better cook.
I think this was a match made in heaven then. Check.
It's a partner show.
Yeah, it's a partner show.
We host a show now.
We do.
I'm no longer a guest.
Brooks, you'll be on soon. And together, we're making some dough, damn it. But thank you for coming on, Brooks. I appreciate it. What's a message you want to share with the world right now? What do you think people need to hear? What do you want people to know?
ELE. Everybody love everybody. There's a lot of negative going on in the world. You never know what somebody else is going through. Just be a nice person. Like, don't cost nothing to show anybody some love. It's easy. Smile goes a long way. It
does.
That's what I would say.
Awesome. Dude, Brooks. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it, bro.
Love you.
Well, hey, I love you too, man.
See?
Good man.
ELE.
Good man right here. ELE. See to that. We'll catch you guys next week. I don't have a guest figured out yet, but we will have someone. Keep those cheeks tight in the meantime, and don't let anyone get in there.